Welcome everybody. We're really excited to have you here, and I always say I'm really excited because I am. I love what I'm doing. I love trading, and I love working with fellow traders to make success happen for not just myself but for those around me. It's what gets me up in the morning and keeps me up all day. So I am doing what I love. And I hope you can find something here today that will help you determine how you can be a part of that passion of mine, but in the process help you to find your passion and a way to possibly seed that passion to achieve it. So today we're going to talk about trading with the pack. And you might ask, what does that mean? Well, we've all heard the statement, when the tide comes in, all the ships in the harbor rise. Well, that's what our program is designed to be, is that tide, and we just want to get as many people in the harbor as we can so that we can all benefit. It helps us all, and we'll talk about that. But before I get into the actual specifics of what that's all about, we're going to talk about zone trade patterns and using the larger time frames to trade larger portions of the market each time we're in a trade. And I will show everybody how to identify what pairs are good to be watching or to have on your watch list for those types of scenarios. So with that said, we're going to go to the next slide. Okay, we are going to first talk about zone trade training in depth. Like I said, I'm going to talk about the announcement of the Asian Pip Club being opened and trading with the pack clinics. This is an opportunity for students to get some one-on-one hand holding in little short spurts as you have time and availability. And for those that are not quite sure they want to go full-blown into a heavy coaching program where they're getting all the stops given to them and everything that they need, we're also offering some consulting options. So we're going to talk about those things today. That's what we're covering specifically. I want the meat of this to be about the zone trade pattern or technique so that you can get a good feel for what that's about. Zone trading is, in my opinion, what is the catalyst behind my success. And I know that there are several other students that are catching on to this process and method and doing very well. Oh, before I get going any further, everybody, I do have a special bonus that I want to give to everybody. So stay tuned for that. I'll share with you what that's going to be. It still is in on the edit base. We need to get it finished there, but it'll be exciting. So stay tuned to the end to at least hear what that's about. Alright, so here is an example of a trade that I took. It was live, it was active when I took the screenshot. Now what I'm using here, and you're not going to be able to see some of the signals over here, indicators over here because it was off the screen, but what I was showing here on this is what it looks like on the filter on the 1 minute, on the 5 minute, and on the 15 minute at the same time. Okay, so just look at those and tell me what you see. What is this telling you? Is it time to exit? Is it time to stay in? What are you seeing here? Just throw out your answer. And there's no right or wrong answer. I just want to get a feel for what people are seeing. If you're familiar with the system, go ahead and answer. If this is the first time you've even seen us or don't have access to the home study course to haven't taken time to open it and look at it because it's available to everybody, what is that telling you? If you haven't seen the videos or watched it, you may not have an answer, so just stick tight and watch what's happening. Okay, I've got an answer. Stay in, stay with it. Okay, good answers. Stay in. Okay, I've got 3 stay-ins. Yep, stay short. Yeah, everybody's saying stay in. And then, yeah, there's one that says stay in, but watch the filter black. Okay, so notice how our 15 minute is showing black bars and pulling back towards the zero line, that is a concern. Okay, but the answer is to stay in, and the verdict, that would be an honest or an accurate verdict. Okay, stay in. Okay, and let me show you something else that tells me why I want to do that. See, here's the 1 hour. Notice what's happening here on the 1 hour. And this was all simultaneously. This screenshot was taken right after this screenshot was taken, within seconds. Just enough time to get it saved and moved to the file so you could see it. Okay, so let's go a little bit further in history, or in time, not history, further in time. Notice what happens here. This is 2 minutes later. One of those bars on the 1 minute turned black, but it was still below the zero line. Still below the zero line, still the same. So do we stay in, or do we get out? Okay, I'm getting stay in. Okay, yes, you stay in. Let's go a little bit further in history. Now, what do you see? What is that telling you? Okay, I get the first out, out, out. Out. I got one person saying stay in. Okay. I was hoping that someone would throw that out there. Okay, so here's what I did. I closed it. Okay. Now, I'm going to actually show this live chart here in a minute, so I'm going to come back to this, but I just want you to remember what this looked like. I took a total of 28 pips in this move from start to finish. I didn't get in up at the top here. I got in mid-range because I came into the market a little bit later, and so I caught it right through this area right here, okay? Or a little bit right in here. Okay, so I did get out. And I got out because of a fresh filter cross, male filter, a male filter, and the color on the 15. All three had the black, and at least 2 time periods had a male change as well, but I wanted to see that first. Now, that is how Jett Norwood trades using the lower time frames. Had I stayed in based on what we're going to talk about today, I would have been able to have at least gotten another 15 pips on the first initial surge down. The market got a little bit squirrely, but then it corrected and kept going short. So to answer, or just to give accolades to the person who said stay in, you were right if you're managing on the larger time frame. Okay, so we're going to go to those charts here in a second. Let me make sure I'm done with the charts here. Yeah, we're going to the live charts now. Okay, so let me open these up. Move this over. Okay, I'm going to show this. Okay, so here is the live trade, and you can see that I have the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, and 1 hour. Alright, so we're going to look at a few things first. So let's focus on what happened on the 1 minute. Okay, we had this really squirrely period in the market that would have been hard to have stayed in. In fact, I did get back in right here and got 1 pip profit as it pulled back and caught my trailing stop at 1 pip profit. So I just stayed out of it at that point. And allowed myself to be distracted by what was going on in the meeting, and I missed these signals here. Okay, so it could have been an additional handful of pips and maybe potential of 2 more trades. Okay, and what could have allowed me to have done that was, let me do this. I need to mark this one. I'm going to go to the 1 hour, and then we're going to go to the 15 minute. And I'm going to explain this in, I mean to do it backwards. I need to go like this. I need to do the 1 minute. So I'm going to pull the 1 minute up, and I'm going to mark the 1 minute on this signal and this signal. Now had I stayed in here and not closed it, could have ridden through that. That would have been fine based off the 1 hour chart. So I'm going to go to the 1 hour chart so you can see what I'm talking about. See that signal and that signal? The 1 hour was testing and then went short. So it was still in the zone, Alright, it did pull back a little bit on that one bar because we did have those previous horseshoes prior to that. Based off of right here. Okay, one horseshoe, second horseshoe. Or train tracks. A lot of people call those train tracks. I call them horseshoes because I'm just a horse guy. So, let me go to the 15 minute. Okay, so what I wanted you to focus on was, what did that 1 hour tell me? Still in a decent zone. Okay, 15 minute was still below the 0 line. Okay, it was the wrong color, but it was still below the 0 line. But look at what my other indicators are telling me. That's a strong zone. And it's congruent, going the same direction. A lower low, a lower low. Okay, so that just gives you an example of what I'm looking for. So here is the key component of trading zones using the larger time frames to maximize your time in the market. 1. The 15 minute has a fresh cross. In this case, was going short. So now I'm in a strong down zone, or short zone, and it confirms 15 minutes later with an additional confirmation of the saddles and the fresh cross. Okay, and you stay in until you get a fresh cross of the filter going the other way. Now you can get out earlier with other signals like you saw me do in this particular instance, but the key is to get in, get out. Get in, going long, and it hasn't gone short yet, so we don't get out. If that were the only piece of information I was sharing with you today, that's the one part that you'll want to practice. Now, is that all you want to look at? No. What we want to do is also verify on the 1 hour where we're at. So let me, can't remember what I did on this. Let me verify this. Okay. Mark the same points. So I can have these both simultaneously right by each other. Okay, now I'll go back to the 15. It crossed there, and it crossed here. So the 1 hour also is another indicator. Now, how I'm using it, how John's using it, many of you know John, you're trading alongside him in the scanner forum and in the Pip Clubs with me. He and I are looking at the same thing. When the 15 minute has a fresh filter cross and the 1 hour agrees with it, either in color or is on the same side of the 0 line as well, you're in the zone. You're in the strong zone you want to be in. Okay? That's the zone from start to finish. Cross of cross. Okay, now you would have gotten a little bit later cross on the 1 hour than on the 15. So see where the 15 is valuable to you as far as that's concerned, and you're going to time your entries on the lower time frame. So you're not just staying on the 15 and 1 hour, 15 minute 1 hour. They are the top end of your management tools. Now you notice how I had the screen up earlier on those those screenshots of the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute. That's what I'm looking at on my trade when I'm in a pair. Because I want to know on the 1 minute and the 5 minute when there are add-on opportunities. I want to know on the 1 minute, 5 minute when things are starting to stall out or slow up. so I can determine, do I want to tighten my stops or do I need to close the position? But then I always look at the 15-minute. Where's the filter? Where's my zone at? And if I get a color change, but it's still on the correct side of the zero line, in this instance here, and this instance here, I'm going to want to confirm on the 1 hour. Is the 1 hour still below the zero line? Is the 1 hour changing color? What do I want to do? So when this color changed on the 1 hour, I'm guaranteed I'm looking for some kind of an exit signal on the 15. But I'm still looking for the use of the lower time frames for adding on and for watching for making adjustments and tweaks in where I have my trailing stops or where I have my hard stops and where my take profits are. Now, the one other thing I do that I really have been comfortable with, because it helps me to be able to trade without stress, is once I get into a trade that's profitable by 15 pips, I want to initiate a 15 pip trailing stop. I usually set those automatically right at the onset of taking the trade. I set my hard stop, set my trailing stop, then set my take profit. That's what I do. Okay, so those are just a couple of components, just a little extra tips here. But the value behind using the 15-minute filter, fresh cross, and the 1 hour fresh cross or confirming the color is the one part of trading these pairs or this system, the 1551, that can really help you to gain a lot of traction. I need to actually take this off and go find this one here. Hold on, I'll go back to this on the 1 minute. Alright, sorry. Okay, so the best entry, the entry I should have had, would have been up in here. But I saw the market late, or got to the market later than that, and saw this signal right here. Took that trade. Had I been watching for add-ons, and I did not today because of my fatigue. I was feeling pretty tired, so I was pretty careful and cautious today. Had I taken all the signals on the 1 minute, and this, I'm just going to show this briefly as to why this can really maximize your ability to be successful. There's the 3 bar, not 3 bar, an early bird filter. This marks an early bird filter. This marks the 4 bar with the AO saddle, and a fresh cross was right there. So that was not a fresh cross, but that was. Okay, perfect entry. Here's another entry right here. Oops. Fresh cross. Now, you don't have to take all of these. I'm just showing you the ones that I would be excited about. Here's the next one. Again, for anybody sitting there saying, yeah, but this is static information, that's a whole different discussion. I don't wait for bars to close. I take this signal when I see it. This is just showing you where the potential opportunities would have been. Some of them may not have panned out initially on the get-go, but eventually the signal would have been there. Okay. And I'm also paying attention to my scans. And you're probably wondering, what scan do I use? Well, I'm going to tell you which scan that I use. I use a 1 hour zone, strong zone, and a 1 hour weak zone. And that's what I use to find the trade or the pair that I want to be following that day. And we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But then I'll also add a 15-minute zone, strong, and a 15-minute weak zone as well. Those are the 4 scans that I'm using. Now, when I get my trade or my pair dialed in, I'll turn off the zone trade on the 1 hour if I've already got my 1 hour scan. So I only have to focus on the 15-minute. But then I'm manually watching the lower time frames, the 5 and the 1, because I'm focusing on that pair, to look for these add-on signals. Now I could add add the filter in for that if I want, or the scan if I wanted for that. But I'm finding that if I'm just focused on that one pair, I can see pretty much most everything that I want to look for. Okay, and you can see there were several other opportunities here. I'm just going to mark a couple of them just so that we can give you an idea of what kind of a range of opportunities you have in front of you as a trader. There's one even right there before my exit. And one more right here. Oops. Now this one would have been tricky. You would have probably been taken out on this one and maybe even right in here with these two. This is just a squirrely area. Cost of doing business. Don't let it beat you up. And then right here again. Oh, and there's one more before it. Let me mark that one too. And then, oh, that wasn't one right there. I didn't catch that. Let's see, right there. Nope. There. Okay. Show you from top to bottom the potential. Granted, you may not have taken all of these positions. Oh, one of them went away. I must have not saved that or had it unclicked, so I closed it off. Okay. And then one more right here. So let's say I didn't get this one. I could have taken that one. Let's say I didn't get either of these, like I didn't get these over here. I still could take these, or I could be in 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 already. And then maybe none of these would be something I'd want to necessarily do add-ons in, or I could. And there's plenty of opportunity to do that. And there's perfect reasons to trade any of those signals along this trend. So you're saying, well, how do you manage the trend? Well, let's just go to the 15-minute again. Look at how many opportunities are all inside that zone. Cross, cross. Okay, I'll come back and we'll look at the 5-minute in a minute. That's a good question. Let's go look at the 1 hour real quick. You can see we are right in, just in the strongest part of that down zone on the 1 hour. The strongest part on the 15. You know, zone is the color of the MAO and the AO, but it's also the side of the filter that we're on. This 15-minute. And remember, if you remember Kirk's foundation, the 5 and the 1 minute, this just completes that process for you to recognize what's going on. Okay, so let's go to the 5-minute and look at each of these points. Filters below the 0 line. Filters a fresh color change below the 0 line. Filter crosses below the 0 line. Below the 0 line, below the 0 line, below the 0 line, below the 0 line. Okay, we can, and you see it going back and forth a little bit, changing colors. That's okay, because what we're looking for is this. Right there. Now that I've just given you $10,000 worth of value, we will be sending you a check for $100 million to trade for us, okay? I'm just kidding. That would be nice, wouldn't it? What I'm trying to get at here is this is pretty valuable stuff. This is what, when you see screenshots in the forum from myself, from John, from Monica, and there's a handful of others. I think Pohai's doing some of it now. He's starting to catch on. He's been doing really good. I hate name dropping because I know I'm going to forget somebody. You know who you are if you're there. But we're all following this process of looking at the zone from the 15-minute filter and 1 hour filter perspective. Okay? So let me go back to, here's the 15-minute cross right here on this first one. Okay? Right here. Let's go back to the 5. There's the first cross. Okay? See, now I entered this one late, remember? You could have actually gotten in earlier because here's a 5-minute right there. See, here's a 5-minute fresh MAO and fresh filter cross. It's 4 bar. So there was another entry right there you could have taken on the 5-minute. And one clear over here. The other thing you want to look at, folks, I'll just leave that on there just so that's a good example. The one thing you want to look at is when you're looking at the 1 hour, what side of the 34 moving average is it on? Its 34 moving average, not the 4 hour, but what's it doing with its 34? You can see that it's below the 34, its own 34, right? So let me pull this out so you can see this whole thing. So now here's what I want to talk about when it comes to finding the pairs to zone in on. Okay, with your 1 hour strong zone and weak zone filters or scans, excuse me, with those scans, you're going to see this opportunity right here unfold. You'll see major color changes will be signaled on those scans, so you'll be able to capture quite a bit of this. What side of the 34 moving average is that 1 hour on? It's below it, right? Except right up in here where it crosses. This is all valuable area to be looking for a 1 hour zone to develop, starting with the week, meaning the weak zone, not the week as in days of the week, but the weaker of the two, and looking for a strong zone signal. Those scans are going to be your bread and butter for the week or for the day, depending upon where it is in the market. This line right here is the 1 hour 34 moving average. This one is the 4 hour. Now, what you want to be able to do is to recognize what side of that is, what side that price is on the 34, to determine your general trend for the day or the week or whatever pair you're looking at. Anywhere along here, even though it is aged, see, I was trading at the ending period or a potential ending here. We don't know what it's going to do yet. It may go up test, it may go down further. We don't know. But this is definitely an aged trend. And if you disagree with me, please share with me after what your thoughts are. But this is aged. But I still traded right in here based off the 15.51. Doing a zone trade on the 1 hour and the 15 minute, timing my entries on the lower time frames, meaning the 5 and the 1. Could I have done add-ons? Yes. And you will start to see more of those examples as I start posting them of these exact things happening. I'm not the only one doing it. We have other traders that are doing it and doing it successfully. It is something that's very doable, and anybody can do this. Okay, so that's how you're going to do that when it comes to picking the pairs you want to look for. It's those zone scans you want to do, the 1 hour or the 1 hour weak and the 1 hour strong, the 15 minute strong and 15 minute weak as well. Now you can use the 1 minute and 5 minute, that lower time frame scan as well. By all means, please use any scan that helps you make your job as a trader easier. If you're looking at more than one pair, you're going to want to have the lower scans, the smaller scans, helping you. I like to zero in on a pair, and if I can find two pairs that look very similar in patterning, then I will do both of them at the same time. And the scans will help me too as well, managing more than one pair, but I have to really be focused. So let me talk a little bit about focus, guys. The one ingredient in anything that anybody does that's successful, that is not different from the rest. I mean, everybody that's successful has this one component, and it's called focus. No matter what it is, no matter who you are. If you're focused on what you're doing, you're going to be more efficient at it and more effective at it. And that's why having more information in front of you, meaning more currency pairs, may not necessarily actually help you out. Having less currency pairs or singling it in on one or two, you can actually make a lot more money. Now there are examples that I can show you if you haven't seen them already in the videos that we've been posting on our YouTube channel, where you're seeing several people posting multiple trades on one currency pair, taking the technique that we used to teach in the Integrity system called sweeping the trend. They're doing it day in and day out. And it's very doable, it's very easy to do, it's very easy to pick up on once you catch on to the concept of trading in the zone. Zone trading is the key component to being able to do add-ons. And we've had several traders that have just started barely using the 1551, caught on to the zone process, and started doing add-ons like crazy. Now, maybe they're only doing one, maybe two add-ons most of the time. They're not hitting every single signal that I just showed you here, but they're catching those really good ones, right? The ones that feel right, the ones that look right, the ones that set up perfect. So they make it one or two. Get out of the market, get in again, get out with another two trades off of a little leg. They're testing the water, they're working through the process. So let me go to the next part of the workshop to explain to you the power behind what we're doing as a community. Let me bring this back up. What we're offering today is to let you know of what's happening in our program already. Why is that not opening up? Alright, let me start this again. It's acting like it's froze up. Give me a second here, guys. Start over. Give me a second to get that opened up. It had to be shut down to reboot. So give me a second. Right now may be a good time you want to type any questions you have, then I'll work on the answering those questions here in a second. Okay. Alright, got to back up. Alright, we have now opened up an Asian Pip Club. So we're not going to just be trading in the US session, we're going to be trading the Asian session as well. For those of you that are in the system already, your pricing's already grandfathered, so you don't have to worry about any adjustments or changes that are going on here. You just have to be grateful you got what you got, okay? And you're able to access both, or either or. There's many people that have come to us that said, I just can't trade the US session. Is there an option for me? Well, now here it is. If you're able to trade both of them from here on out, you can get both of them, get that package listed above, and I'm going to send these links to everybody. Or if you're only able to trade the Asian session, you can see here the link that you can be able to do. And this is going to allow you to get the Norwood scanner, the access to the Pip Club or Pip Clubs, and access to the scanner forum. So you're going to be vetted right in with the rest of the crew that's already trading and working with the system that I described, and you get to rub shoulders with the community and get that learning curve cut down to a really manageable size. Okay? That's the main announcement I wanted to make sure that everybody knew about. Now, as far as trading with the pack, I've been talking about this. Let me talk about what I'm referring to. What I've been willing to do and made available to as many people that want is to either come trade with me for a full day. So this would be like you going to a seminar somewhere in a remote part of an exotic part of the world or whatever, right? You go and you pay to go spend time, be trained and taught and work with the gurus at said seminar. This is a webinar designed to devote the whole day to trading with me from start to finish. And you can take advantage of that, and I will handhold you through the whole process. We'll take breaks together, we'll regroup, we'll get back into the market and pick the different segments of the day that we're going to trade, and go through the process from start to finish. You get a chance to get inside my head and see why I do things, how I manage losses, how I manage wins, how I manage the waiting game, how I work through the process of picking the pairs, everything from start to finish. And you get to see results that very day. Okay, so let's say you can't come to a full day clinic because that's just too much time away from your regular work or whatever. That's fine. I'm offering half-day clinics. These half-day clinics basically are going to allow you to capture parts of the market. Now maybe you're not able to be to a full half day. Full half, that's funny. Let's say you're only able to make it to part of the session or to only one session. We'll work out an arrangement with you. But here's two options you can be able to take advantage of: trading with me, getting inside my head, working with me, asking the hard questions right there on the spot. Why are we doing this? How's this happening? Why are we supposed to do it the way we're doing it? So forth. Okay? You will see results in those sessions. I've had several people say, hey, I just want to coattail off you. Well, you can do that in the forum, but only on a limited level, because we don't show our screens when we're in the forum. Everybody's doing their own private trading, but we're talking and communicating via the chat. This is an opportunity for you to actually see my screen and be with me the whole time we're in the process. So basically it's a glorified Pip Club, but you're in it with me on a very intimate level where we're breaking it down, dissecting it. I'm going to tell you everything that's going on in my head, and you get to see me work through all the psychological barriers that come up, because stuff comes up. In fact, for example, staying in the zone. If someone opens my door, or if the phone rings, or a Skype message comes through and I'm in my trading zone, it takes a little bit of time to get back into my zone. Sometimes I actually say, hey, I need to sit up and walk away for a minute. I got to walk away for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. I'll be right back. Or I'll mute myself and put on some music so I can get my mind refocused. Now I've picked the things that I do that help me. You can learn how I'm doing it and why I'm doing it, and then you can cater or work it around how you want to do it. But you'll get to see how it's done, how to get back on track. In fact, I was talking with John, one of our heavy hitters, and he said that the zone he trades in, when he's talking about the zone, he's talking about the zone inside his head. He says it's very fragile, but he values it because that's where he finds his success. And he and I both agree that's the way it is. As a trader, you have to hone in on what that is and make it work for you. And so that's what this particular product is going to allow you to do. There are no limits to this. If you're interested, great. If not, we just want you to be able to be a part of the community and come into the Pip Clubs and the Scanner Forum. So the first two are the most important links that I'll send out to you. Now, for those of you that need a little bit of hand-holding on just a here and there kind of a basis, or just need to have a little bit of a tweak once in a while, we have an opportunity for you as well. If you're interested in that type of a feature where you don't need to spend the whole day with me or even a half a day, and the Pip Clubs are working fine for you, but you're just stuck on an issue and it's keeping you from getting past that point of success that you're looking for. You keep hitting the wall. Those getting unstuck moments. I really need some help. We are offering, and this is for either Kirk or myself, the opportunity to have a 30-minute Get Unstuck consultation where we're going to really just jump right in, grab the tiger by the tail, and do some evasive effort to help get you back on track. 60 minutes or $60 per 30-minute session. Here's the link. You can purchase 1, 2, 12, whatever, how many you want. You can purchase them one at a time. You can purchase them all in advance for an entire year, whatever you want to do. But this is a way for you to help get you unstuck in those moments where it's just, you know what, I'm just on the brink of making this work. Why am I not seeing this, or why do I keep having this habit, or this particular situation keeps happening to me? What's going on? Get a second opinion, a third party coming in and looking at the environment from a fresh perspective. Help break you out of that zone of being stuck. Okay? There are other options we have. If you'd like to purchase a monthly version, we can talk to you as well. If you're interested in any part of these, let me know. Send me an email with your phone number so we can break down the details with you and give you more of the concepts. I hope for now that you've been able to at least learn something today when it comes to the zone. And I'm opening it up for questions now for any and all of the material that we've covered today to help get you on track. And our feedback on what you saw. Did what you learned today from the zone demonstration help clarify some things? And are there any questions I have missed, Kirk, in the list of questions? Okay, the $149 session, the $149 package is for that one day, a full day, uninterrupted day with me.
I would suggest that you only have the full day one day and the half day a different day.
Yeah, it's not going to be. Yeah, I will select with you the day that you can make it, and we'll schedule those out so you're getting that one-on-one attention.
Now, the Pip Club is $100. The Asian session is $100, or if you want them both, it's $150 if you're not already grandfathered in. If you purchase before today, then you're grandfathered in both of them. If you purchase today, it's one or the other, Asian or U.S. session. Or unless you do $150, then it's for both of them.
Yes. So either way, you still get access to the scanner forum 24/7. Awesome.
No, Mark, when the strong weak zones go off, you have to determine which side of the 34 it's on by looking at it. If we put all that detail in, and then you got many, many more scans, at least you'd have 4 scans up trying to do the same work as 2 because you didn't want to go look at it.
You need to have less is more in this case. We just want to know when the first initial good move is, so we can then go evaluate it and make that executive decision. Yeah, that putting too much into the scan actually minimizes the number of scans we get. And so having less actually gets us what we're looking for, so we can make those better choices quicker on the fly.
Because a strong zone scan on the opposite side of the 34 can give you some trading opportunities. If you're looking at like the 15-minute strong zone, then you go to the 5 and the 1, you could end up getting 20, 30 pips in a counter trend trade, but that also can be the beginning of the where the trend changes direction. So when you get the scan, you decide which way it is and how you want to trade it.
Now, if you've attended our 2-week free trial of the Pip Club, and again, if you're not able to attend the U.S. session, you'll want to possibly attend the Asian session. You can see what's going on, but you're still going to get it more from a classroom environment rather than hands-on, one-on-one. You can get an idea of what those Pip Clubs are going to look like before subscribing to them. That's an option. But if you're interested in actually getting some hand-holding and getting that little bit of an extra edge so that when you come into the Pip Clubs, it makes more sense to you, you can pick either the full day or the half day. It's up to you. I think either one would work, and we can go from there. It's just an option you can choose from. Yes, sir.
Manuel has a question, and I'm going to answer, then you can clarify. Would you recommend doing a day or a half day before signing up for a U.S. or Asian session? I would suggest that you need to be familiar with the course material. I don't think I want to give anybody a day or a half day until they've been with it for minimum 2 weeks.
Yeah, I do want to make sure that you do have an understanding of the course material, and since the course material is available to everybody, take the time to learn it first before you schedule your day with me. I mean, you can go ahead and register for it, but then we can set your day out when you're ready for that point.
Well, see, that's the access to the material.
Right.
But actually, you need 2 weeks minimum access to the scanner, all the indicators, and you'll even be better off having at least 1 month, so that when you get there, you really understand what Jett's doing. It's not like you're sitting there learning; you're polishing up what you have learned.
No, we're saying the same. We're saying the same thing, Kirk, for sure. That's a good point. I don't want to have to teach you the basics during that period. You need to at least have an understanding of what I am talking about when I talk about it. So yeah, you're going to need to have at least understand, have gone through the course material, and have played with it for at least 2 weeks to get an idea and a feel for what's going on. Definitely a requirement.
You'll be better off with at least 1 month before you sign up, just to make it a better value for your money. If you jump in and we're having to go back to so many basics, if you haven't spent enough time with it, that it's wasting your money.
As far as breaking up the 30-minute consultation, let me put it this way. I can get more done in 30 minutes, and I'm willing to expand that 30 minutes to 40 or 50 minutes, or even an hour at the same price, then break up that 30 minutes into smaller segments. Trying to break it up in a 10 or 15 minute or a 5-minute segment, actually it's rushed and it may not necessarily work. But I'd rather spend that full 30 minutes with you to make sure you get it, go through the concept, discuss the issue, work through the issue, and then come up with a game plan, then practice the game plan with you before we actually end. That's how I prefer to do the consulting, because I want to make sure that it makes sense to you and we're not rushing through anything. That's not fair to you in the end, and contact me multiple times versus once. I think you'll find that I can get a lot done in that one session with you that'll turn you around. In fact, there's students in here, if they would like to share with the group already what that experience is with just having a session with me, what it does for them. If they don't want to, that's fine. I'm not going to hold you to it. I know it's kind of spur of the moment, throw that out there. If someone's brave, let me know. If not, no big deal. I'll get a testimony from you later.
Manuel, I just gave you a link so you have access to the course material. And that link also, if you haven't already had one, that gives you access to the Pip Club for a 2-week trial.
Okay, as far as the hours are for the full day, a typical day for me is going to be the open of the U.S. session, and so that will run the period of time. We usually trade that for about 2 to 3 hours, sometimes into a 4-hour period. It just depends on how much energy we have. Then I'd peel off, get a break, get something to eat, stretch my legs, rest a little bit. Then I do come back and look at the market again around my noon, which I'm Mountain time, so then I'm looking at it again at about that time. There's some midday movement that's worth looking at. Whether I take anything or not is irrelevant. It's just if it presents itself, great. If not, and then I'll look at it again right before the Asian market starts. And so there's break times in between these, segments where we can break away and take care of the rest of our lives. Then you can come back and we look at an Asian session, and then we'll trade the Asian session clear through until the opening of the London session. At that point, I'm pretty much exhausted. If someone isn't able to trade the U.S. session, I will schedule a time where we're reversing that, so I'm working more on the Asian and the London session. But that has to be scheduled in, so I know how to set up my hours for rest and so forth. So I got to work those in as we go. But I do want to make sure that I'm making this available for everybody on both sides of the globe. And that's why the package are set up they were, so there's a commitment on both ends, yours and mine. I'm going to give Pohai speakers. Okay, I've unmuted Pohai.
Hey, Jett, how's it going?
Good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Am
can
I
hear you
coming
loud
in
and clear.
loud and clear?
You're loud and clear.
Okay,
Thanks.
beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, I wanted to go ahead and attest to what Jett is providing here. It's very, very valuable information. I had a chance to train with him, and I trade during the evenings. I've been doing this for about, I think, 4 months, 3 months, and it came really slow, even though I poured a lot of time into it. Watched the videos hundreds of times, every break I had. But basically, as soon as I started, I signed up. And I'm going to tell you guys that this is the really good deal because I paid more, a bit more. So what he wants to do is reach out to you traders and get you guys up to speed. I did a couple of sessions traded with him at night. After the first consultation I had with him, it was night and day. I traded differently the next day, and I think I hit my 50 pips. I've hit 200, 300 pips after, and if you really take to heart what he teaches, you can't fail. You will do better, for sure. So I just wanted to say that. Aloha, everybody. And thanks, Jett and Kirk, for all your help. You guys are doing so much. I don't know how you guys stay in business with doing it with such a low price, but this stuff works, everyone. So thank you.
Appreciate that, Pohai. Now I want to give you a little bit of accolade here because you have been one of the most committed traders I've actually had the privilege of working with and training. I can't believe how thorough you have been in your study. And so you know what you're talking about when you say you pour time into it. Because I remember you telling me, "Man, just eat and sleep and drink these videos. Every chance I get, I'm watching a video." like okay,
yeah,
take a breath, my friend.
I'm
Take a breath.
Like everyone. Probably like everyone else here. You guys really want to learn, but I've worked 14, 16-hour days and sometimes never slept for a couple of days trying to. I'm really passionate about trading. Been doing it for a very long time. Never successful though. And this is it. This is, I can tell you, after I would say 24, 25 years of trading, there's nothing like it. I've wasted a lot of time. I wish I found you guys earlier, and I'm glad I did. So jump on board, everyone. Awesome. It's available now. I don't know how long they're going to make it available, but I highly recommend this to everyone.
Okay, 2 points. 2 points I want to make here. I want to ask you one more question, Pai. When we had our first session, we kind of went through the overview, right? And we got you up and going running, but you're on a different package. You've got the full blown program, not just these little segments. But with the one session, after we had our initial training and you started trading and doing good and everything, we kind of got a game plan as to where you were at. That very next session was a few days later where you were kind of feeling a little bit stuck and you weren't seeing something right, correct? So then we started talking about just one session, about 30 minutes, maybe an hour. I can't remember how long we talked, but it was at least 30 minutes. And within that time period, that very next day or that very next trade, you were showing 50 pips with the correction being made in your perspective, correct?
Yes, with many corrections, especially in my attitude and focus, like you said today. That was my biggest problem, trying to trade 24 hours a day, taking every 4-bar, just because that really cleaned it up. So yeah, that was good stuff.
Now with the zone material that I taught you today, did you learn something new as well, yourself?
I know you guys have been teaching this. It wasn't. This is something new because when I was the course, there wasn't really the zone aspect of it. Now with this, it's a game changer, especially these new scans. I loved them. As soon as I saw them, I was like, man, this is awesome. So they're making a huge difference in my trading or paper trading simulations and everything.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you being willing to share your experience. And I really enjoy trading with you. It's fun to have you in the Asian session. It's fun to have you in the U.S. session when you're able to be there. I know that when we're all trading there in the forum, we end up doing better as a group. Anyway, it's just enjoyable there. So I appreciate having you there. You're good trader, good friend, good student. Love having you.
Absolutely.
Jett, go to a chart and show what a 4-bar is again.
I will in a second. I'm going to come to that. There's one other question I wanted to address here that Pohai mentioned. He had said something about how we stay in business, charging the prices we do. If Kirk and I were in this for the money, as far as educators are concerned, instead of being just traders, we'd be charging $10,000 for this stuff, a whack.
Absolutely.
That's not what it's about for us. we've been blessed to be able to learn and understand the market in a way that makes sense to us. We've been blessed to be able to share it with people and know how to articulate what we know. And we feel that that's something we need to give back, because there's not enough success in the world. There's successful people, but if you took the number of people that are successful on a monetary level versus those that are struggling, it's very skewed the wrong direction, in my opinion. And so if we can help make a difference, and maybe that difference is only in monetary value, but if we can make a difference in other ways too, then it's worth it to me as a human being, feeling like I've left a mark that makes sense. You know, leave a place better than I found it. So I'm only here for a certain amount of time and then I'm gone, right? That's what it really comes down to for Kirk and I. So putting a little bit of skin in the game with a financial payment of what we're asking for, I don't think it's too much to ask of anybody, but at the same time, we don't want you to think that it's cheapened down or watered down because we're not charging enough. We're going to give you what you deserve and then some. And so that we're more interested in building a community of successful traders and people that say, hey, this really works. I want to be able to travel the world and know that I can stop by and say hi to anybody anywhere I go. That's really what it comes down to. My wife loves to travel, and it'd be nice to be able to go to dinner with 9, 10 different people in Europe or in Australia or across the United States or wherever, right? That's just kind of what it is for me. It's about making friends and about making connections and making a difference. So let me go to the charts here. We'll show you what a 4-bar looks like. Okay, I'm going to go to the 1 minute just because it's easy to find 4 bars. And I will mark the 4.
It's not easier to find. You just find more.
That's what I mean. That's what I meant. Okay, so when you get the Heikin-Ashi color, the Mayo color, the AO color, and the filter are all the same color. That's a 4-bar.
Now there are fresh 4 bars and
right. There's fresh and old, fresh or stale. Here's another 4-bar going long. Okay, and I just picked 2 really good ones. Actually, there's one even before that. Let me see. Here is one right there as well. Colors are all the same color. The fresh cross, that's a more sound entry, but this is still a good entry too if you're trading in the right direction. Anyway,
you need to determine which side of the moving average that the price is on when you see the 4-bar. That makes a difference.
So here's a 4-bar right here.
Counter trend or a trend.
Here's a 4-bar right here. And this previous vertical line right here, this is a Mayo filter, where they both change the color at the same time, and a fresh cross, or at least a fresh cross on one of them. Here's a Mayo saddle, excuse me, and a fresh filter color or a cross. That's a good signal to get as well.
That's the beginning of a zone on a 1 minute, but you want to make sure that you're in a zone on a larger time frame.
So that's on the 1 minute. You can still find them on the 5 minutes. So all these places I marked on this particular chart right here, there is a 4-bar right there. There's a 4-bar right there. 4-bar right there. 4-bar right here. 4-bar right there. And the rest were Mayo filters on this segment.
Early bird filters.
Or early bird filters, sorry. Not a Mayo filter, an early bird filter. Sorry, I said that wrong earlier. Now, thanks, Mark. He says, Jett and Kirk, thank you so much for your time and effort and all that you do. I am glad that I found you, your community. I look forward to working with you. Off to work. God bless. Thank you, Mark. Glad to have you here. Anyway, if there aren't any other questions, I'm going to send out an email to everybody with these links so you can pick and choose what you need or what you feel you need. If you have questions still, please get with me, Jett at forexstrategysecrets.com, or Jett at forexstrategysecrets, excuse me, at Gmail. And give me your phone number. Let's actually open, or we can even set up a Skype discussion or an online meeting where I can just talk about the different features and answer any of the questions you might have. We're here to help. We're here to talk about what's going on, what we can do to help you out. And maybe what we're talking about right now and the offers we have, maybe they don't quite fit your scenario at the moment. But we can at least do a game plan with you to find out where you need to be and what you're trying to achieve. So anyway, appreciate everybody's participation today. Hope you learned something. That was my main hope today, is that you're going to learn something. We are going to be rebroadcasting this webinar tonight in the Asian session. You're more than welcome to attend to that one too. You might glean some more off the session because I'll be probably using a different chart then to demonstrate what we're doing. If I get some more trades off between now and then, I'll maybe use the fresher signals then just so I can show some fresh stuff. Good opportunity for you to learn again. So you're more welcome to come then. There's plenty of seats here. No one's going to be kicked out. So I will give you a call, Lynn.
Jett, you see there's a phone number?
I'm a step ahead of you.
Okay. The Pip Club links will be up over the weekend, so you'll have February's links.
And there will be made available for those that have the Asian session, the Asian links as well.
And that's you'll have to give the programmer as to where you're going to put those, because they're not going to.
Right.
They may not be in the same place because they have to be specific.
Right. So we will get that ironed out. So a few little technical bugs that we have to address, but we will make sure that everybody has access to what they are entitled to. So we appreciate it. I almost said I love you guys, but I don't know you. But I appreciate you. How's that? I'm so used to telling my wife and my kids I love them, so it's just how it goes. All right, appreciate it, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and we bid you the best and wish you the best of success. Talk to you later.